What is up? Welcome back to another episode. In this episode, we're finally getting AC in the garage. But I'm not installing the AC unit itself. I decided to not go with the do-it-yourself kits like the Mr. Cool. I ended up pricing it out and getting a guy that could install a mini split for me for like 200 bucks more than a Mr. Cool's. It also looked a lot better because if anyone knows about the Mr. Cool kit, you usually have to coil up the access line outside and it kind of looks trashy. So this will be a professional install and it'll look really good. The only caveat to this is that I gotta do electrical wiring for it. So that's what we're doing today, is running electrical to the outside disconnect box for the HVAC guy so he can wire from that to the unit. And I'll explain to you what that is. So this is our upstairs AC unit and this is the disconnect box for this. Inside here there's a little plastic piece you pull and it shuts this all the way off so you don't have to get into the breaker boxes inside the house. So we have to take that and put it over there because the AC unit is going right here. So to get this job done, I've got a 30 amp fusible disconnect with my 30 amp fuses, and the fuses go right here, your main line, and then the lines to disconnect. And this is the little plastic piece I was talking about that you put in there. That's on, that's off, and of course a little plastic cover for it. Also, I got my 10 gauge wire and my duct seal. This is to seal off the hole that we cut into the wall. And I also got lucky because this is leftover from when I did my air compressor. So let's dive in to getting the electrical ran for this AC unit. First, we gotta get this wall off to expose the insides to run the cable. We also gotta take this off because we're using this spot right here, and it'll be a 25 amp breaker, which is why we use 10 gauge wire. So let's get all this off. Alright, we've got all the boards off. You can see the insulation now. We also got that off right there. And behind this insulation, you can see my electrical, which is going into this box. And this is the breaker we're going to be using again, so I'm going to go up, out. I'm going to follow this little route that's going through the wall right here, right there, all the way down. Stops here, does a little junction, and I think the disconnect should be somewhere right here. And it looks like there should be enough room in that hole for that cord, but we'll have to find out. So let's get this cable ran, see if we need to drill any more holes, see if this hole's big enough for it, and go from there. I'm dying in here. Coming back over here though, this hole is not big enough to allow that to go in smoothly. So going to have to drill another hole and then probably drill another hole here and run its own separate length or channel. And I just messaged my AC guy at 9 o'clock at night asking him questions about where he wants disconnect box, and he responded right away telling me where it needs to go. So he's wanting to put the unit, the air handler up here, and he wants me to put a disconnect in this area. So let's get the saw to drill these holes, get the holes drilled, get that cable ran, work on getting the disconnect box mounted and the hole drill for that. Alright, got the holes drilled, got my cable ran all the way through. Stop there because the disconnect's going to be somewhere in this area. Left enough slack out. Also left enough slack out here. So next, before we wire anything up, we need to get disconnect mounted on the outside of the wall. Drill the hole first, then mount the box, which I've kind of ran out of daylight. I started too late. So we'll pick on this tomorrow. Welcome back. It's the next day. Now let's get to installing this box. We need to put the box somewhere in this area. So outside I've marked where I think it should be, which is right here. And in reference to the window. So this disconnect box is at 4 feet tall right here. So I am trying to match that over here because I'm sure that's some kind of code or something. So right about here is 4 feet. I'm going to put it about right under here. And the electrician at my work suggested putting the top of the disconnect box right under the vinyl siding to help water run off of it. So we're going to try to do that. I plan to knock this disconnect hole out, then rough mock the box up to the wall and get the center hole of that marked, and then run the hole through the wall. So let's do that. So I line my box up like that, and I marked my little hole. I got an 1.5 inch hole saw. Let's get a hole cut. So a little tip that I learned on YouTube was getting this duct seal stuff and basically making a washer for your screws that you're screwing into this to help keep water out. So we're gonna do that, see how good it does. So we got it installed finally. I also did the wiring in here already. I got my black and red laying at the top, got my ground laying in the ground bar, and then I left the white for spare in here. Since this is the 10-3 gauge wire that I use on my compressor. It's 10 gauge wire because the air conditioner runs off of a 25 amp breaker. Also inside, I've got duct seal all in the hole, trying to seal that off. I also trimmed down the wood screws that I had mounting the box because they protruded too much through the wall. So next, we need to wire inside there. But before that, I want to get these walls back up, at least have this ready for the air conditioning guys. So let's do that. So I'm putting this up. I just wanted to add, this is how you are supposed to do this with the insulation. You're supposed to kind of split it in half and then tuck it behind here because you don't want this compressing. When you compress this, it loses its R value, which is how whoever did this had it. They had it over this and it was compressed right here. So you lost your whole R value right here. So don't do that. Do it like this. All right, let's get back to it. So we got all the walls put back up, and I went ahead and got this breaker in, which is my 25 amp breaker, and got it wired up. I also got the fuses put in here, and I checked my voltage, and I have 120 at each leg and 240 across the top. So it should be good to go for the AC guy. I also got the Type R in here, got the Miata out. Since I'll be at work tomorrow, I figured I'd pull the Miata out, put the Type R in here, so when I go to work tomorrow, this whole space will be free for the AC guys, so they can't hit any of my stuff, hopefully. And again, the area handler is going up there. So I'll see you tomorrow when the AC guys get done. We finally have AC in the shop. I'm so excited. It's currently 78 degrees in here. The AC guy turned this on around 12:30. It was about 86 degrees in here. It is currently 6:20, so 6 hours from now, and we've gotten it down to 78 degrees. It also was a very, very hot day today. I mean, I think it was 97. We had heat advisories and stuff, so pretty bad day to start up the AC unit and see what it's all about, but it's kicking ass. I'm definitely gonna need a ceiling in here, probably some fans. We also gotta do something about these doors. These doors are not efficient, especially up here. And up here, it is not connected well. So all three of those doors are trash. They let air through. I also need to get a ceiling because as you can see, there's air gaps, and this is vented right here, so air is coming from the outside, which can possibly blow in here. So with all those little things, it adds up. Oh, also, these windows are like bare minimum windows. Single pane, probably like an R value of 0.5. Pretty bad. So we need to get new windows, probably get some nice tint on like what I have on the Type R, which is a UV blocker tint. So that should help keep heat out, hopefully. So a lot of things that we need to still do to the garage, but this thing should definitely help out a lot. At least keep it comfortable in here and not 80 something degrees where you're just sweating the second you walk in here, not even working on anything. So pretty stoked about that. I hope it works out. We probably need to do like a 6-month review on this thing. It's a brand that's not too well known. I decided to go with Durastar instead of the Mr. Cool kit. Mr. Cool kit ended up being like 26, 27 and some change. After all said and done, me doing it myself, and this guy charged me $31 to get all that installed. And the main caveat to that was I've got a new HVAC guy, which he was awesome. I'll have to put his business card here. He's a local dude. He just started his own business about a year ago. A friend of mine referred him to me, and he's killer dude. So if you're in the area, Murfreesboro, Nashville, Gallatin, Hendersonville, all that stuff, please hit him up. He's a solid dude, wealth of knowledge, really fun to work with. So, but yeah, I think this was the better deal. One of the biggest gripes I had about the Mr. Cool Kit of all the videos I watch is that it has pre-charged lines, and once you got everything routed outside, you had to coil up the lines right beside the AC unit, which I thought looked tacky. And we can go outside and look at the unit now. Sorry if it's windy, it's like about to storm here. But there's no coiled lines. He got the nice run all the way up in, no excess lines or anything. So I think it looks a lot cleaner than the Mr. Cool Kits. And I mean, I'm sure all of these things are made in the same Chinese manufacturer, so it's probably about the damn same. I'm excited for this. I think it came out good. I hope it works out for me. I hope this can keep this place pretty cool in here and comfortable. That's the goal, comfortable. I don't want it to be freezing cold, because I would have probably had to pay way too much money to have that, but just comfortable. Because at the end of the day, this is a garage. There is 3 massive doors, these cheap windows, there's not a ceiling on it, so there's a lot of heat loss. So I don't expect it to be 68, but I'm shooting for 72, 75. That should be a nice shop temperature. So we can kind of go over the unit a little bit. Just like the Mr. Cool Kit, it's got the little remote with the follow me button and all that stuff. Right now I have it on turbo mode, so let's see if y'all can hear it. Got the mic pointed towards it. That's turbo mode, and this is normal mode. It's a little bit quieter, and that's with the fans on auto. That's the lowest setting. Medium setting. I think that's the highest. And then there's auto. And then back to turbo. I've also got it set to swing, which is this button right here. And it's oscillating this fan right here. So it's blowing it all through the shop. So I'm hoping it swings out the air. Which hence the name. Other than that, it's pretty basic, cheap mini split stuff. The follow me feature basically tries to keep the temperature wherever this remote is to what it's reading. So apparently it's 80 over here. So I think this one's a little bit more accurate. It's probably 78 in here. If anyone has any questions about this Durstar unit, just leave it in the comments. I'll try my best to answer it. Like I said, I'll probably do like a 3-month, 6-month review, how this thing actually does in my shop. If anyone doesn't know about this, because there's like little to no information on YouTube about these things. It's a pretty new company. Ferguson, which is a big warehouse company, especially they sell like AC stuff, has their own brand, which is this. It's their house brand. So I went ahead and bought it. The AC guy that installed it for me said that he's using it in his house. He's had really good reviews with them, and their parts are readily available. So if anything was ever to happen, it should be fixed in a day or 2. So that's my AC unit. I'm kind of bummed that I didn't get to do it myself. I was kind of looking forward to doing the Mr. Cool Kit just for the whole doing it myself, record on YouTube, but at the end of the day, I think this was the better option. Hopefully it turns out good, gets this place comfortable enough to work in. With all that being said, if you like this video, please hit that like button. Also leave a comment down below if you have any questions about anything in this video. Also hit that subscribe button. I'll see you in the next one.